Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're going to be doing a Karakuri deck profile. So I'm really excited for this one because it's been a while since I actually updated this deck, and I'm really excited to bring this one to you guys because it has some really interesting changes in the extra deck and the main deck from the previous build. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come for our notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards like getting your name searched for every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, or even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron along with test hand. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Karakuri Bones. This card is really good because it has the ability to basically be able to special summon itself, because this card must attack if able, and if this card is targeted for attack, you can change this card's battle position. Also has the ability that this card is in your hand, you can target a Karakuri monster you control and change its battle position if you do special summon this card from your hand as a tuner monster, which is a really good effect just to be able to get you a level 5 tuner monster on your side of the field to climb into all sorts of different plays. It also has the ability that you can't special summon monsters in the extra deck the turn you activate this effect except for Earth Machines, which is not that big of a deal because the majority of the stuff in the extra deck is Earth Machines anyways, so you're basically going to be going into those cards like all the time. We then play 2 copies of Karakuri Ninja. Karakuri Ninja is pretty good too because it's a level 4 monster that's going to help you into all sorts of different plays in this deck. I like playing this card as 2 because it helps you go where you can normal summon this out, change its defense, and then special summon out your copy of Bones, and then it can let you immediately go for your Burrito, which is the level 9 Synchro monster extremely quickly, which is super nice for this particular card. It also has the ability that when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can select a level 4 lower Karakuri monster in your grave and special summon it back in face up defense, which is pretty good just to be able to get you a revival of one of your Karakuri monsters. We then play a single copy of our Karakuri Watchdog. Watchdog is pretty good as a level 4 tuner monster. It doesn't do all that much for its monster effect, but it's basically just here because it's a level 4 tuner monster. We then play 2 copies of Strategist. Strategist is pretty good because when this card is in attack position, it must attack if able. And when this card in face-up attack position is selects an attack target, you change the defense. And when this card is normal summon, you can select one monster on the field and change its battle position, which is pretty good to be able to just immediately change the battle position of a monster and be able to go off into all sorts of different plays with your Karakuri monster. We then play 3 copies of Komochi. Komochi is really good, or Kawaii Robot. I love this card. It's probably the reason I actually picked this deck up, is because I love this card. I think it's so cute. But basically what this card does is this card must attack if able, and when this card is selected as an attack target, you change its battle position. And then when this card face up on the field, you can once return during your main phase get an additional normal summon of a Karakuri monster, which is really nice just to be able to get you additional plays on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Karakuri Mechanic. Mechanic is really good in this deck. Mechanic is like ridiculously good because what it does is it's the searcher that when it's normal summon, you get to add a Karakuri card from your deck to your hand, which is ridiculous in this deck. Just to be able to grab any Karakuri card from the deck is really good for this card's effect, and it gives you a Stratos essentially. I play a single copy of Karakuri Barrel. Barrel is pretty good too because it's a 400 attack, 400 defense monster that lets you basically tuner as a level 2 monster, so it helps you out and do a lot of different plays. We play 3 copies of Gamma. Gamma is really good too because it's a level 1 tuner monster and it has some really good effects that you get to quick effect. You get to banish this card from your graveyard to be able to target a Karakuri monster you control and change its battle position. So it can help you out a lot of different combos to be able to change the battle position of some of your monsters on your side of the field to go into additional plays and get their effects off. And then I play a small Despot engine, which is 3 copies of Despot 03 and 2 copies of Despot 01. So these are basically here because the Despot 03, when it's normal summon, you get special summon a Despot from the deck, which is your copy of Despot 01, and then it can immediately link summon for your copy of Crystron Needle Fiber, and then you go from Needle Fiber into a copy of another copy of Despot 01, and then you link those 2 together to go for Auroradon, which can get you some really good plays in the deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is just really helpful in this deck because it's going to be able to get your exact Karakuri out of the graveyard that you need to your side of the field to go in for additional synchro plays. 1 copy of Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave is just really helpful in the deck to be able to stop your opponent's hand traps because you just don't want to have to deal with them. 3 copies of Machine Duplication. The Machine Duplications come in really handy because they can let you special summon out additional copies of your Karakuri monsters that have less than 500 attacks. So you have a lot of those in the deck. The only thing that I've really been considering changing in the deck is putting in an extra copy of Strategist to be able to kind of get 3 of him out to my side of the field as well. But that's just something that I've been thinking about doing. You could drop Call by the Grave to be able to go that route if you want to just go for a very monster heavy build, which is an option for you guys. We then play 3 copies of Karakuri Cash. I love the name of this card, but basically what this card does is it lets you select a face-up Karakuri monster you control, add 1 level 4 or lower Karakuri monster from your deck to your hand, and then change the battle position of the selected monster, which can get you additional plays off your Karakuri monsters. We then play 3 copies of Gamma-Ul. Gamma-Ul is really good. What this card basically does is you activate this card and targeting Karakuri in your graveyard and immediately special summon it back, which is really good. And also it lets you once per turn during the battle phase, if the battle position of a Karakuri monster you control is changed, the equipped monster gains 500 attack, even if this card is no longer equipped, which is really good just to be able to just get you a Monster Reborn revival, essentially. And every time a monster's attack or revival, or every time it's changed, they gain 500, which is really good. We then play 3 copies of Karakuri Anomaly, Autonomy, which is really good. Autonomy is really good because it lets you, each time a Karakuri monster's battle position is changed, you put a counter on this card, maximum 2, and you can send this card from your field to the graveyard to draw a card for each counter on this card, which is really good just as a small draw engine in this build. It's really good in the deck because it came out about the same time as Six Samurais United and was kind of like the same thing as Six Samurais United, but it's just an overall really good card just to be able to get you additional draws in the deck. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing a single copy of Karakuri Cash Shed, which is a speed spell 3 counter trap, which is really good to be able to activate. If you control a Karakuri in face-up defense position, negate the activation of the opponent's spell or trap and destroy it, which is just really good just to negate spells or trap against your opponent. Then we play 2 copies of Karakuri Cash In. Cash In is really good because it has the ability to let you target a Karakuri monster you control, and affect monster your opponent controls, and change the battle position of the monsters, and if you do, negate the effect of the opponent's monster until the end of the turn. So you change your battle position, negate the opponent's monster as a trap effect, which is really good just to give you those additional abilities. And if you control a Karakuri monster, you can banish this card from the graveyard to target 1 face-up monster on the field and change that monster's battle position. You can only use effect this card once per turn, so it's an overall just a really good card at changing your Karakuri's battle position so you can get additional effects off, which is really nice. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Karakuri Super Shogun MDLOON Berebu, which is really good. Berebu is just insanely good because it has the ability that if this card is special summon, you can special summon a Karakuri monster from your deck. And monsters you control in defense position cannot be destroyed by battle. And then once per turn, if the battle position of a face-up Karakuri monster is changed, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and banish it, which is really good just to be able to banish additional cards off your opponent's side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Beredu, which is really good to be able to play the level 8 Karakuri monster. Then when this card is special summoned, you can special summon a Karakuri from your deck, and then once per turn, you can change the battle position of a Karakuri monster is changed. You get to draw a card, which is really good just to be able to just draw 1 card off this card every time a card is changed, but it's only once per turn. But you can do it with multiple copies of it, which is really good. Then we play 3 copies of Beret. Beret is really good too because when this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon 1 Karakuri monster in the deck. Then once per turn, you can target a card on your side of the field and change its battle position, which is really good just to be able to immediately change the battle position of a monster, because a lot of your monsters go off with their effects to be able to change the battle position. Like your copies of your Super Shogun can banish something. This lets you draw a card, and then this just lets you change the battle position, which is pretty good for this particular deck. We then play a single copy of Naturia Beast to round out the Synchro monsters. Naturia Beast is just really good because you can Synchro summon this card really easily and negate spell effects, which is just amazing for this particular deck. It's an overall really good card and really good addition to this particular build. We then play a single copy of Sacred Tree Beast. Sacred Tree Beast is the replacement for True King of All Calamities. It's really good in this deck because during your turn, when a effect is activated, You get to quick effect target one card of the same type, monster, spell, or trap in the graveyard and attach it to this card as a material, and then during your opponent's turn, when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you can detach a material from this card, monster, spell, or trap from this card, and if you do, you negate the activation to destroy that card. So it gives you a little bit more negation, which is really nice. Usually I'll let Naturia Beast negate the spells, where this negates the monsters, which is really good. One copy of Fortune Tune, because you do play a lot of level 3 monsters in this deck, which is really nice, and you can use the Fortune Tune to go in your copy of AA Zeus to be able to just board wipe your opponent, which is a really, really awesome effect to just board wipe them. And then we play a single copy of Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon, because when this card is link summoned, you get a bunch of different effects to be able to special summon 3 tokens to your side of the field, and then once you summon those 3 tokens to your side of the field, it lets you tribute. You can tribute up to 3 monsters to activate these effects depending on the amount of cards you tributed. If you tribute 1, you destroy a card on the field. If you tribute 2, you special summon a Mecha Phantom Beast from the deck. If you tribute 3, you get to add a spell or you add a trap card from your graveyard to your hand, which is a pretty good effect because you can add your copy of your Karakuri cash in back to your hand to get its effect off again, which is pretty nice. But getting those level 3 tokens on your side of the field is what's really good, because you can use the Despot 1 to Synchro summon with 2 of them to go into a level 7, which is Beret, which is really nice to go in for that additional play. And then you contribute 1 of them to directly destroy a card on the field, which is really, really nice. And then you play a single copy of Crystron Needle Fiber. Needle Fiber is just really good for the different plays, because you can link summon in this and then immediately get a token or get a copy of Despot 1 on your side of the field, and then link summon the 01 away with this to go into Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon for the Auroradon combo. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a really fun deck to play around with. I really like this deck. I think it's a really cool synchro deck to play around with. But it's just an overall really budget fun deck. Like, it's fun to play with. It's really easy to learn because you're basically just trying to synchro summon into a 7, 8, and 9 in this particular deck. And the Auroradon combo is pretty simple and straightforward with the Despot 03 to be able to normal summon to special summon Despot 01 to then link for Crystron and then go for a 01 plus Crystron into a copy of Auroradon, and then you get both your copies of your monsters back on your side of the field to use as synchro material. So it's just an overall really fun deck and really easy to learn. So anyways, guys, this is Dark Arm Duels. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell on there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.